welcome to the deep dive. This week, we're plunging into, well, a really fascinating cosmic forecast. We're looking at June 16th to 22nd, 2025.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be quite a week.
Absolutely. All our sources, the recent astrological analyses and reports we've gathered, they're all pointing to some pretty significant shifts, revelations even. So our mission today is basically to cut through all that, distill the key insights for you for the week ahead, and give you some practical wisdom to navigate it all.
Exactly. And we're seeing two really major planetary movements kind of dominating the scene this week. They really redefine the whole energetic landscape.
Okay.
First up, you've got Mars. It's transitioning into a new alignment that's going to bring a real sharp focus on practicality, meticulousness.
Okay, practicality, got it.
Then the Sun makes its big shift, and that pulls our attention more towards home, emotional security, those kinds of themes.
Okay.
So together, these moves are kind of ushering us into a more structured, maybe even a bit more introspective period.
Interesting. Structured and introspective. Let's drill down into that first one then. Mars. You said June 17th. What does that alignment really mean for how we approach things?
Yeah, the 17th. Some reports mention this lasting until early August.
Wow. Okay.
So it suggests a longer period of needing a more planned, strategic, maybe detail-oriented approach.
Right. So what does that look like day to day?
Well, what's really fascinating, I think, is how this Mars shift acts almost like a cosmic engineer. It's pushing us towards efficiency.
Really?
Like really refining daily routines. We're talking health habits, hygiene, diet gets a focus, streamlining work processes, even, digging into data analysis. It really encourages that drive towards perfectionism.
Okay, perfectionism can be good, but also tricky.
Exactly. That's the aha moment a lot of sources are pointing to.
Yeah.
The key isn't just being precise. It's about targeting that precision.
Oh.
So you don't want to just be critical for the sake of it. The question you should ask yourself maybe, what's one nagging, inefficient thing in my daily life? Maybe it's your morning routine, how you organize your email, something like that.
Right.
Mars is basically aligning you perfectly this week to optimize that. Channel that energy productively. Don't let it just become, self-criticism or anxiety.
That's a really useful distinction. Turn the critique outwards onto a process, not inwards.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Focus, productive action.
Okay. So we've got Mars pushing for efficiency. But then, almost right after, the sun shifts. June 21st, summer solstice. Longest day. How does that pull us back? Seems like a different direction.
It is a different direction in a way. It's like a balancing act.
Yeah.
This sun shift is, it's deeply significant. For about a month, it brings themes like belonging, family, home, emotional security, right to the front.
Okay. So more feeling-based.
Definitely. You might find yourself feeling more emotionally sensitive, more aware of your comfort zones, what you need emotionally. The analyses we looked at really emphasize this strong push towards nurturing communication, healing within family relationships.
Okay, so good time for those tricky conversations, maybe.
Could be. It's definitely a prime time for developing deeper emotional connections. It really invites that internal reflection. Think about it. After all that external, practical Mars focus, the sun kind of nudges us inward to our roots, to find that sense of security from within our own personal spaces, our homes, our families.
So we've got this dual thing happening, precision and action from Mars, then this emotional depth, home focus from the sun. But I get the feeling it's not all smooth sailing this week.
No, not entirely. There are some challenging currents we need to navigate.
Right. I saw mentions around June 19th of a really powerful planetary alignment, something that's apparently a big influence for the whole year, 2025.
Yes, that's the one. It's a Jupiter-Neptune square.
Yeah.
And it is arguably one of the week's, maybe even the year's, most demanding interactions.
Jupiter-Neptune square. Okay, break that down. Why is it so demanding?
Well, you've got Jupiter, the planet of expansion, big ideas, optimism, and it's clashing. Essentially, that's what the square aspect means. Tension, a call to action with Neptune. Neptune rules dreams, illusions, spirituality, but also confusion and deception.
Okay. Expansion meets illusion. That sounds potentially messy.
It can be. Our sources link this with potential financial complexities, political ones too, maybe misleading information swirling around what one analysis called speculative risks dressed as opportunities.
Oh, okay. Like things looking better than they are.
Exactly. A blurring of lines between dreams and reality. Or just, excessive optimism, like being way too hopeful without checking the facts, playing Pollyanna almost.
Okay, so if someone's facing a big decision, maybe a financial one this week, what's the practical takeaway beyond just be careful? Is there a specific question they should ask themselves?
That's a great question. The reports consistently stress extreme caution with finances.
Yeah.
So drawing from that, my advice would be when something sounds too good to be true, especially financially, that's not just a saying this week. It's like your astrological alarm bell going off. You need to pause, fact check everything. If you can't verify it independently, if the numbers feel inflated or the promises seem vague, resist the urge.
Trust your gut over the hype.
Trust your gut over your greed, maybe.
Yeah.
This period really demands discerning truth from illusion, especially with your beliefs, ideals, what you expect is possible.
Wow, okay. That's super practical for a tricky transit like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop there, does it? Heading into the weekend, June 21st, 22nd, there's another challenging alignment.
That's right. Just as the sun moves into Cancer, it forms a square with Saturn.
Sun-Saturn square. What's the vibe with that one? Some reports mentioned ominous days.
Yeah, some use that phrasing. It suggests a potential for obstacles, maybe restrictions, setbacks, feelings of discomfort or being blocked.
Blocked by what or who?
It could manifest as conflicts with authority figures. Parents, bosses, maybe even dealing with frustrating bureaucracy. But the crucial thing to get about Saturn is that it often brings lessons through limitation. It's not just random bad luck. It's testing your discipline, your boundaries.
So it's not necessarily everything falling apart.
No, not necessarily. It's more about encountering situations that challenge you. The advice compiled from the sources is maybe postpone really important tasks if you can. Practice generosity with yourself too. Stay flexible.
Right. Don't push against a brick wall if you don't have to.
Exactly. Be aware of where you feel restricted and how you respond.
So if Mars is our cosmic engineer and Jupiter-Neptune is the truth detector, what's Saturn here? Like a cosmic auditor checking our work.
That's a great analogy. Precisely. Saturn is often the auditor, or maybe the stern teacher. It checks for structural integrity. Where are the weak spots? Where are the foundations shaky?
Okay.
So when the sun, our core self, squares Saturn, it shines a spotlight on those areas where we feel limited or burdened. The lesson is usually about responsibility, resilience, and realizing that real strength comes from facing those limits.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we got the big picture. The Mars shift, the Sun shift, the Jupiter-Neptune challenge, the Sun-Saturn test. Let's walk through the week day by day now. How might this actually feel?
Let's do it. So Monday, June 16th. The week kicks off pretty social. Lots of interaction, friendships highlighted. Could be great for work connections, getting support for projects.
Nice start. Any watch-outs?
Yes. Be mindful of sudden financial decisions, especially around leisure or fun. There's a tendency flagged for overspending there, and maybe some fiery energy in discussions, so try to avoid knee-jerk reactions. Keep things cool.
Got it. Keep the wallet closed and the temper cool on Monday. What about Tuesday, June 17th? That's the Mars transition day.
Exactly. So this is your signal for new beginnings, for planned actions. Get organized. Some reports mention good energy for love, creativity, kids. But the main theme seems to be mental clarity.
Mental clarity, okay.
So maybe use this energy for some quiet reflection. Creative problem solving. It's a good day to organize your thoughts, find those elegant solutions.
Nice. Okay, moving to Wednesday, June 18th.
Wednesday, intuition is likely strong, especially in the morning. Could be a really good time for those emotional conversations with family. Finding compassionate ways through old issues.
Sounds positive.
It does, but later in the day, watch out. Mental confusion might creep in. The advice is clear. Avoid gossip. Try not to misunderstand or be misunderstood.
And financially, especially with that Jupiter-Neptune energy building.
Yes, financial caution is really advised here. Unexpected expenses might pop up. Careful planning is needed. Definitely not a day for impulsive buys or investments.
Okay, heads up for Wednesday afternoon and evening, then Thursday the 19th. That's the peak of the Jupiter-Neptune square, right?
That's the day. Expect emotions to be quite active, maybe fluctuating a bit. You might feel driven to tackle past issues, take new steps. But family or home stuff could feel challenging.
So a push-pull between personal drive and home demands. Sort of. But it's also a day where individual decisions, independent action are emphasized. Lean on your close circle for support if you need a boost. And absolutely remember that Jupiter-Neptune caution if it seems too good to be true.
It probably is. Got it. What about Friday, June 20th?
Friday sees high social sensitivity, lots of movement, maybe some buzz. Some reports even mention potential pressure on public services, things like that. Communication could be fast, but maybe emotionally charged, especially anything in the media about family or kids. An old issue with friends might resurface too, so handle that gently.
Any bright spots?
Yeah, later in the day looks better. Positive interactions are possible, maybe bringing some joy or creative ideas.
Good. And then the weekend, June 21st, 22nd. Big shifts here with the solstice and the sun moving into Cancer.
Exactly. So those themes of family, home, emotional security really ramp up. You might feel a boost in self-confidence too, maybe wanting to refresh your look or environment.
Sounds nice, but Saturday has that Sun-Saturn square we talked about. Right. So be prepared for potential obstacles or restrictions, especially things needing discipline or patience. Don't be surprised if things feel a bit slow or blocked.
And Sunday.
Sunday highlights relationships, trust, belonging, but again, caution financially. Potential conflicts with partners could arise, maybe around shared money or values. Feelings of indecision are possible. So really, it's a weekend for self-care and navigating things gently.
Okay, that day by day is super helpful. Now let's try and synthesize this. How do these general energies play out for different people, maybe depending on what they're focused on right now?
Good idea. Let's break it down into a few key areas. So for those really focused on work and health, if you're someone with a lot of natural energy, you might find Mars's shift really pushes you to be more planned, more detailed at work.
Use that engineer energy.
Exactly. It's a great time to refine work processes, focus on well-being, diet, exercise, but again, beware of being too critical or getting irritable. Target the precision. For others, maybe especially those in service roles or looking for more visibility, this period could actually bring career advancements.
News.
A time to refine your public image. It's about using that meticulous energy productively.
Okay, makes sense. What about for people navigating relationships and emotions? Sounds like a big theme this week.
Huge theme. With the sun's move, many people will feel that focus shift strongly towards home, family, emotional well-being. It's really a ripe time for deepening bonds.
Healing old stuff.
Yes, resolving old issues with compassion, experiencing emotional healing within the family. Some analyses even suggest this could kick off a period, maybe even a year, of quite radical self-discovery and wisdom, real personal growth.
Wow.
And romantic opportunities are also highlighted, new connections or deepening existing ones. The key thing is tuning into your inner self, your intuition. Let your emotions guide you towards positive connections and finding that sense of belonging.
So listen to your heart, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially regarding home and family.
Okay. And finally, for those dealing with finances and material changes, this sounds like a really important area this week.
Absolutely critical. Strategic financial planning is paramount. Be extremely cautious with investments, especially anything that looks overly attractive or promises quick, easy gains.
Jupiter-Neptune illusion trap.
Precisely. One analysis specifically warned against overly optimistic investments that don't have clear substance behind them. Really do your homework.
Are there any potential upsides financially?
Potentially, yes. Some might find opportunities to gain through their unique talents, maybe developing a creative project that could pay off. But on the other side, others might face unexpected expenses.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, or just find they need to restructure their budget because costs have shifted. Changes related to home, property, family finances are also flagged, and they could come up suddenly. So flexibility is really key financially.
Flexibility and extreme caution. Got it. Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive for June 16th to 22nd. It really feels like a week of balancing acts, doesn't it? Ambition and practicality, dreams and reality.
It really is. You've got these powerful energies pushing for strategic action, especially with Mars, but also this deep pull towards emotional awareness and home with the sun.
So whether you're planning a career move or trying to nurture family bonds, it's a unique blend.
And remember, while these celestial movements provide the backdrop, the framework, your personal actions, your choices, they're what really matters.
Right.
So this week, think about applying that careful discernment, especially with money and communication midweek when those deceptive influences are strongest.
And don't forget self-care.
Definitely don't forget self-care. Find those moments of peace, especially with that potentially tricky Sun-Saturn energy over the weekend. It's about protecting your own peace, building resilience.
Ultimately, then, this week is kind of an invitation. Embrace the changes, but mindfully. Turn the challenges into chances for growth, for deeper connection.
Well said.
So as you move through the coming days, maybe reflect on this. How are you going to harness these shifting energies to bring clarity to your dreams while building real, solid stability in your reality?